Hey YouTube, been a while, Darcy Sky here, just gonna do a game pickup video with you today, have some fun. You might notice a couple things. New apartment, great place, nice and sunny, love it. You might notice a new haircut, great place for hair, nice and sunny, love it. All kinds of stuff is awesome. So I'm gonna do some games, there's 6 games in total, I'm gonna talk to you guys about today, all Game Boy games. All from John Riggs from Rigged Games. I'm going to link down below. You can check him out. He does lots of cool repros, tons of cool stuff. He had an Instagram post liquidating, I'd say, lots of cool Game Boy games. Picked a few up. I'm starting to build up a Nintendo handheld collection, and so I'm starting with some Game Boy games. I have a number of DS games. Sometime I can make a video about my collection as it is so far in total. That's later. Hold your horses, guys. So, start off with, I'm not sure if this is going to be flipped or not. It is flipped. That's okay. I'll help you guys out. It's Tetris for the Game Boy, 1989. Game that sold 1,100 million, that's not the number, units of the original Game Boy. It's a great game. Let's show it again. Price, kind of the price on the back, not really what I paid, but it's all good. The game, that is just amazing. It's Tetris. It's a great version of Tetris. If you're playing on a Game Boy Color or a Game Boy Advance or SP or anything like that, Super Game Boy, you can kind of add colors to your games. That's true with all the games except one that I'm going to show you. It's just a great version of Tetris. The sound effects are classic, music is classic. It's just a classic game. It's great for on-the-go play. I mean, that's why you can get Tetris on anything, on calculators. It's just a really good version. Maybe not my favorite version. I don't own too many, but I think Tetris on the DS is a great version. Just the standard marathon is great. The add-on games are great too. But this original one, rock solid. If you're gonna have a Game Boy collection, you gotta have Tetris. Next up is a Donkey Kong Land on the banana yellow cartridge. A little fade. That's okay. It means it's been loved. It's a great game. It's kind of a take on Donkey Kong Country. It's not a remake by any means, but it's a version to try and put it on the Game Boy with its own story. I'm sure you can look it up. It's got its own story. It's a really solid version of that style of gameplay, done to the limitations of the Game Boy. The only thing I'm not crazy about is I've kind of spent a few hours with all these games. Some of them I had in my childhood, so I know them better. Is Donkey Kong Land, if you want to collect, or if you want to save your game, you have to collect all the Kong letters in level. So if you're just busting through each level and you haven't been collecting them, and then you get a game over or something, you can lose a lot of progress. Alright, next up is Wario Land 2 for the Game Boy. And this one, well, it's a Game Boy Color game. So obviously can't change the palette or anything. It is what it is, and it is lovely. Just a great expansion on the original Super Mario Land 3, I think it was, where it's Wario Land. Just the character is given a better background. The enemy, there's more to it, they realized that hit. They added more elements. They gave Wario power-ups, so he doesn't always necessarily get hurt by an enemy. He might get flattened. He might get turned into a zombie. He might catch on fire. And that is, in essence, a power-up. It's just really funny. It's just a fun platformer for the Game Boy Color. Next up, something that is not very fun, but I thought I had to have it. Mortal Kombat on the Game Boy. It's straight up not good. Not a good version of Mortal Kombat. It runs at 1 frame per second. It feels like fighting games in general are hard to do on a system where you have a D-pad and 2 buttons. Some are decent, like if you've ever played Battle Arena Toshinden, the Game Boy version of that. It actually works pretty well. This it does not. It's a slow, clunky game. For a tournament fighter that's already kind of known for being a bit slower than others. So I decided I'd have it have, a well-rounded experience. Plus, it's a big name. It's worth having. Unless you kind of want to have a well-rounded collection, you could skip over Mortal Kombat. The later entries are a bit better. Not much. Next up we have Tiny Toons, well, what's the full name? Tiny Toons Adventures Bab's Big Break. So you play as, actually, you can play as a number of Tiny Toons in this game. It's a lot of fun. They have their unique power-ups. And it's just a great way to have all the different characters from the show. Hopefully you watched the show as a kid. It was pretty good. Not as good as the original Looney Tunes, but, you know, it'll do. It'll do. It's just a lot of fun. Good platformer. Easy, pick up and play. It's kind of its own thing. It's not a Mario. It's not a Mega Man. It's not a Donkey Kong. It's its own identity, which is great. And it's just fun. Just pick it up. It's good. Can't go wrong. Unless the music is on loop, which it is in this game. The music loops around and around, so you're going to hear that opening jingle a lot. It's okay, just put on a podcast, put on something else. And then the last game we're going to talk about another classic, I'll get this one day. Oh, it's on my head. That's awesome. Dr. Mario, which again is a port of the NES Classic. This version is great too. Dr. Mario lends itself well to the same thing as Tetris, just play it on the go. Standard, you know, pills drop down from the top, lay them on your viruses. Why can't they be bacteria? Why is it a virus? Whatever. And then they disappear. It's just great. And then again, if you're playing on something like the Game Boy Advance SP, which I use, or Game Boy Color, or anything like that, the added colors make it really nice, and it pops really well. So again, these 6 games, picked them all up from John Riggs. Once again, Rigged Games, put a link down below, check them out. Yeah, and then let me know what you guys want to see in the future. Have a great day, guys. I mean it, just, you know, great day.